So, Dead Rising has always meant a lot to me. Uh, I remember my earliest memories of seeing this game was like when I was like fucking child. Like I don't even remember. It was like probably 5 or 6. Seeing my dad play this game, and just thinking, like holy shit, this is next gen. Like Xbox 360 just came out and shit like that. Seeing my dad play it at one of our neighbor's friend's house, or I don't even remember, but like this game has always, interested me in a way, and it's, crazy to me to think that this game came out in 2006, because 23 now. I'm, I don't think I'm that old, but still, time flies and shit like that, and you know, this gameplay isn't like anything crazy or anything. It's just me talking about this game. I just felt like talking about it. I'm a little drunk too. I'm not even gonna lie, but like I don't know. This game has always meant something to me, and I think it's you know very crazy how Capcom made this during the time. Oh, that's just my controller malfunctioning. Don't worry about that. There's gonna be a few times in the video where my controller malfunctions because it's fucking using Steam input, and it just fucking will disconnect mid fucking gameplay. But no, this game, I love how cheesy it is. I love how it just is what it is. It's not afraid to be a video game. And I think that's something games are very scared to do nowadays. They're always trying to be realistic and have super duper like high fidelity graphics and stuff like that. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just this game means a lot to me. It's cheesy. The music from it, Gone Guru, we all know. If you played Dead Rising, it's very early 2000s, mid 2000s. Um, I'm not no fucking highbrow YouTuber guy. I'm just guy in a fucking room making a video. So like, if I get anything wrong, please tell me. But like, I don't imagine this video is gonna get too many views anyways. But like this scene right here with Carlita, ain't no way a scene like this is happening modern days. Which I'm not saying is a wrong thing or a bad thing. I don't have any problem with newer things like the whole God of War love free thing. People complaining about it because a woman is ugly. I don't understand that. I'm a grown ass man. I just I play video games because I enjoy them, and I think they're a very beautiful art form. They're the only one you can interact with. Make choices and stuff like that yourself. You can't do that with other games or with other forms of media. But like the scenes in this game, John Romero, very John Romero coded because of the mall and zombies, obviously. But I just genuinely love this game so much, and I think more people should play it. I haven't really spent that much time on the remake. No script, by the way. I'm just rambling. Um, I think the remake is all right, but compared to this original, it's not even a competition. Like it's insane. Like uh yeah, there's gonna be some lag too because I was downloading a game on Steam, so don't like if you give me shit for whatever, but so like just the very first few scenes of this game are just amazing in my opinion. I love everything about this game. Whether it's nostalgia, even though it's impossible for me to have, as I didn't play this game at all as a child. My first time was playing it back in like I think 2018, not 2018, like 2021. As I said, I'm drunk, but like the cutscenes, the character animations are all very old and all that. I don't mind. I've never been a guy who's cared about story in the first place. So for me, it's always been like gameplay. And I feel like some people detest that. Have a problem with that. But I have always been a huge cutscene skipper. I'm just watching these cutscenes for the video so that there's something to see some people care about that stuff, but me personally, this game means a lot to me because um, I'm praying. I find the gameplay just amazing. Improvisation, having to use weapons, or just your bare fist once you're level 50, of course. Or level once you're like starting the game for the first time, you're not trying at all. But I love that how difficult the game is when you first start it. I think it's something a lot of games are missing out. The challenge. They. Nah, I'm not gonna say like all games are too easy nowadays. I'm not that type of person, you know. But like this game is extremely challenging when you start from the first time, and you're incentivized to start a new run at a certain level. If you're not high enough level, it'll just be like, hey, start a new game, so you can start from the beginning with the level you have, so that you can be stronger and approach these um, what's the word I'm looking for? Approach these problems with more power and stuff like that. You'll have new moves. Something I also love about this game is Frank's, new moves he gets. You really feel like a unstoppable force by the time you're level 50 in this game. It's insane. You got fucking ripping out people's organs, fucking throwing them around like rag dolls with the side throw, and what's the move fucking called where you grab them by the legs? You know what I mean if you play Dead Rising, but if you don't, then I highly suggest you play this game. It's very unique, unlike anything you probably ever played. The time, of course, the time is something I haven't brought up is the time system. It literally makes you stress out so much in certain situations because you don't know if you're gonna have enough time to make that case or not. And I think this game, you know, it stresses you, but it's not a bad stress. Just like there's good stress and bad stress. It stresses you to do things where you have to make decisions. Do you want to save that survivor? Do you want to fucking grab that item or something like that? Do you think you have enough time to do that? I think this game is one of a kind, and you know I played Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising, um, off the record, and I think they're good. I played the remake too. It's all right, but like nothing will ever, for me personally, compare to this first game. It's so amazing, and I think I'm just glazing the shit out of it because I'm just feeling it and shit. But like, I think more games should try to be unique in the like in the sense of doing something different, trying something new. But games cost a lot to make nowadays, so you're probably not gonna get another Dead Rising for any amount of good time. But you know the whole photography mechanic, I think it's very interesting and unique. Even though I feel like mid game you really don't use it anymore because you get more points from just killing zombies and killing psychopaths and saving survivors. I still think if they had the chance to flesh it out some more, it would have been a lot better. Now I've never played Dead Rising 4 for good reason. I've heard nothing but bad things about it, and I don't like the way they assassinate um, Frank's character in a sense, even though he really doesn't have much of a character. Oh. But things of the such in that matter, Frank West, I love him as protagonist. I love his voice acting. I love the little quirks he has when he changes clothes and stuff like that. He'll do a little pose and stuff like that. I think the survivor mechanic, people got really frustrated with that. I remember watching this video back in the day with Red Brad. You know, everyone knows Red Brad, I'd hope. Classic Let's Play YouTuber. literally rage quitting the game because the survivor fucking AI is just so stupid. But me personally, I've never been like 100% completionist or whatever, so I don't like go out of my way to get every survivor. Me personally, I will leave a survivor to die if it comes down to it. You just you're on your own, buddy. But like, I think that mechanic is very unique, and I love the reward of getting a bunch of power points. PP, a very strange name. I don't think they. Sorry, that's a jet flying by, but I don't think they. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Thought about how it would be fucking phrased in the future. PP, fucking penis points or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But no, this game it's so fucking unique, and I think that we need more games like this at the end of the day. I love this. I love video games as an art form. Um, you know, my earliest childhood memories are of playing video games, and I wish they got more respect, but I understand why they don't at the same time. They were seen as a toy, and especially like boomers and stuff, seeing the Nintendo and stuff come out, they thought it was, you know, there's nothing you get out of it. And I understand that and all that, but I love this medium, and I think it's amazing. As cheesy and as silly as this game is, I love it for that reason. It reminds me of the little shitty B movies me and my dad would watch all the time, but I think that this art form is genuinely beautiful, and I love this game so much. The characters, the antics you get through, the psychopaths, the combat gameplay, as we watch me do my chud gameplay here. I think it just means a lot to me and maybe other people, because like the things with games, just like movies and books, you could be going through something and you play this and it helps soothe the way you feel. I was going through some bullshit at the time when I was playing this game. It really didn't have any direction and stuff. I do now. I'm a lot better, but I think, as silly as it sounds, this game really made me feel something. Like I enjoyed it. I remember seeing the Stippo videos and stuff like that. Even though he has the whole controversy of taking down all his shit when they didn't give him the fucking early access to play fucking Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, which I would understand. He basically kept the game alive for that time, even though other people were making mods and videos and stuff. But he has a literal, autistic fucking attention to detail when it comes to this game. He poured his heart and soul into it because he loves it. I understand him too. I love this game too, so, you know, the psychopaths are one of the most fun things to fight in this game, even though, you can just cheese most of them. I don't feel like any of them are that difficult, especially once you get the mini chainsaw. We all know the mini chainsaw if you play this game. Literally best weapon in the game. No fucking in lag. Does so much damage. Stuns most enemies. It's free. It's free. Which, like, one of my earliest memories, like I was saying, seeing this game being played was my father fighting um, Adam the Clown, and me thinking that was the coolest shit ever. Like I saw the amount of zombies, I saw the way the game looked, and I was like, holy shit, this is next gen gaming. I felt like we haven't felt that in a while when it comes to just video games in general. Like you see something and you're just like, holy shit, this wouldn't have been possible on that last gen. This wouldn't have been possible on the PS2. At the end of the day, the amount of zombies, the crowds, the way everything interacts, picking up any weapon, anything in the mall, basically could be a weapon, other than clothes, of course. You use a fucking water gun if you wanted to, and it would still have its use cases, cases of use, because you might not have anything else. And I love that about this game. Uh, like, here, of course, I'm going to get some orange juice. Best consumable in my mind. Just a little orange juice to go fight Carlito. But me personally, like I said, I'm not too big of a story guy, so it's like the stories never matter to me. But I still do find it interesting because it does pose a general question, especially now in 2026. You know, the whole meat thing. What happens when we consume so much of this? We consume a lot of meat, us Americans, and one day we're gonna have to find some method because we can't keep doing this the way we do. But I don't want to get too into that because I'm trying to stay focused on the video game, even though I've had tangents this entire little thing I'm making. I'm not very focused on it. This is, my first video where I'm talking about stuff like this. But um, I think this game means a lot to me, and I hope it would mean a lot to other people because it did something unique. The creator of Mega Man made this, and I think he made a very good game this time. Other than he did the whole thing with Mighty Number 9, which I played it on PlayStation Plus when it came out a long time ago. It was alright. I've never been a Mega Man fan, but I think he really cooked with this game in the sense of making something unique. I love the way Frank West looks. His design, his character, his voice lines, fantastic. Covered words, all iconic lines. He's even in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I enjoy playing every now and then casually. I'm not that good at it. He does a lot. TJ Rollo, he's a voice actor, great voice actor for this character, and it's unfortunate that he was recasted in Dead Rising 4 because I think that was absolutely unnecessary because I think it's because he was in a union, and you know how corporations are extremely greedy and stuff. But this game means a lot. I love Dead Rising, and you know that's basically what this whole video is about. Me loving this game, splurging out on it. Brad over here, chilling, getting shot at. First psychopath you fight is Carlito. I think the showing of it is pretty. Like when you're low level, it's pretty fucking difficult. I'm not gonna lie, but when you're higher level, it's pretty easy. Just like everything in this game, the leveling system is fucking amazing in the sense of the progression of power that you feel as playing this character. You get way stronger. But yeah, I just wanted to rant about this fucking game. This is not like a scripted video. I don't really think I'll ever do something like that, but yeah, this game is fucking amazing, and I hope other people think it's amazing. So that's basically it. Yeah.
Are you up to it?